OK, Sam's back with us. Sam, Tottenham certainly this season's entertainers, whether it's been good for them or bad for them. I think that's fair enough to say.
Well, it's good for the neutral. It's probably good for their top four rivals. But Tottenham fans must be pulling their hair out. So they've conceded 13 goals at home in the last three home games at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. As you can see here, though, they are the league's great entertainers because of the goals not just they score, but they concede as well, second only to Wolves in terms of goals per game in the Premier League. But you know, you can see on one hand, yes, it's great for Tottenham fans to see lots and lots of goals at both ends of the pitch, but at the same time, look at the teams that are around. Wolves, Brentford, Leicester, not necessarily teams challenging for the same things that Tottenham are challenging for. And while Liverpool or Chelsea are on this list, look, they're the highest scorers, nearly behind Spurs, but they've conceded far fewer goals than Tottenham have this season. It's not just Tottenham as well. You can put this down on Ange Postecoglou, who in history is one of the most goals, you know, there's more goals in Ange Postecoglou games than any other manager in Premier League history. If you look at this, yes, he's just above Pep Guardiola, who won lots and lots of things, but Roberto De Zerbi, Marcelo Bielsa, Unai Emery, how much did they win with their clubs in the Premier League? So maybe this is a question for Ange Postecoglou to maybe sort of say, well, do I need to change the style? Because, you know, maybe I don't have the squad that Pep Guardiola has, but I need to sort of achieve something with Spurs. And, you know, these managers didn't really achieve what they wanted to achieve in the Premier League. So will Ange at Tottenham?
OK, leaky defence at Tottenham hasn't just been a story this season, though. It's been a theme all year, hasn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. They keep conceding the first goal at home. In fact, they've conceded the most goals in a calendar year first than any other team in Premier League history. This is all the stats in terms of the home form. As you can see, actually, Tottenham appear three times on this list, 1994, 2003 as well. But those seasons, especially in the sort of the second half of the calendar year, they actually guided them to a bottom half finish. So it's not a good stat necessarily for Tottenham to have. What it means is that they need to score 2, 3, 4 in order to justify getting the 3 points. It's not really good to see here from Ange Postecoglou. They keep conceding the first goal at home. That's probably because they're so open in the midfield at times, and Ange sort of refuses to change his ways.
OK. They're coming up against a team 8 points ahead of them in the table on Boxing Day. Nottingham Forest at the City Ground. Nuno Espirito Santo will be hoping to get one over his former team.
Well, it's very funny how football works sometimes, because Spurs sacked Nuno Espirito Santo because they didn't feel he would take them into the top four. And now he's in the top four with Nottingham Forest, who Spurs play on Boxing Day. And what we can see here is a very different set of styles here, because, as we've said in the show before, Nottingham Forest have one of the best defences in the Premier League, and Spurs are mid-table. They don't concede very much XG, so they don't concede very many chances. But obviously there's a stylistic difference, because Spurs like to take control of the ball, be more attacking, and you know, Nottingham Forest pass out the back. Well, actually, they don't pass out the back very much, and that means they make fewer mistakes. Spurs, meanwhile, pass out the back quite a lot, the fourth highest in the Premier League this season, but make far more mistakes, leading to opportunities and chances. Obviously, Freddie has come under criticism for his inability to play out at the back. And yeah, it's a very different, you know, two different styles here, because obviously Ange Postecoglou Spurs are the top scorers in the Premier League this season. You know, Nottingham Forest aren't necessarily a very attacking team. So it's a question of, what do you want from your manager here? Do you want the efficient manager like Nuno Espirito Santo, who's going to maybe overachieve with you, take you to places where you want to go, but doing it in a less, you know, attractive style? Or do you want the chaos that Ange Postecoglou brings, where it's all over the pitch, there's goals going in at both ends, but, you know, it comes at a cost in terms of results? So it's sort of control versus chaos here. Nuno Espirito Santo versus Ange Postecoglou.
Yeah, I don't know which sort of Christmas to wish you. A Nuno Christmas or an Ange Christmas?